Greetings. Welcome back to another comparison and review. I'm Brian Morris, PDJ 16791, and today we are going to be comparing the new Latitude 64 Royal Trust first run to a Lucid EMac Truth. So both of these come in with the same numbers. They're both speed 5, glide 5, turn 0, and fade of 2. Obviously there is a lot of hype on the Trust, so let's get to the truth. Let's check them out.
And here we go. A look at the Latitude 64 Royal line Trust next to a Lucid EMac Truth. So we're going to use brand new equipment here, brand new EMac Truths. Those are our Beaver Branch stamps. The EMac Truth does have a bead on the bottom and the Trust does not. The Trust seems to have not quite as much dome, which could make it a better forehand disc, but they have the same exact numbers, 5502. And as always, we're going to start off with some Hyzer shots and trying to throw a consistent Hyzer shot, warming it up, seeing if they'll go to the same location on the same line because they have the same numbers. The first two are always going to be the EMac Truth, and the second two will always be the Trust or Royal Trust. So here we have the Trust, and you can trust that it'll fade. Here's our spread, and in this spread, pretty much everything in the bullseye made me think maybe I should be playing instead of throwing or doing a comparison. All right, here we go. EMac Truth. First shot was at about 260. This one is about 280. So a good mid-range distance for me, just to try to put one out there and try to get it in the circle, kind of lobbing this Hyzer shot out there. And this is the Trust, and they really do. The numbers are spot on. The question is, which do you like better in your hand? So the flights are very similar, and the feel is very similar. The EMac does have that kind of small bead on the bottom, and the Royal line has a different feel to that plastic than the Lucid. So here we're going to throw Anhyzer releases so you can check out those numbers, that 5502. So with that 0 on an Anhyzer release, you can see the stability and you can see that fade coming back of 2. So very consistent flight pattern here. Here we move over to the Trust. Throwing the same one. I believe I threw this one a little bit lower than the other two, but it's still got, if you could see, if it was about 10 feet higher, it would have a similar flight pattern. And then I get this one almost calibrated back to the right one, and you can see it doesn't want to continue going over where other discs with a negative turn would go over. Spread wasn't too bad, got pretty close there. Everything was in the circle. And that brings us to our special guest, Scooter Crunch, getting his first throws in here, his warm-up shots with the Trust. And we will throw the EMac as well, but these are kind of a couple of the warm-up shots that he had. And here we go with the EMac Truth. And getting it out there and getting it up. Now, Scooter does flick his EMac Truth. That one you can see it gets over a little bit, and that's something we noticed with the flick shots is the EMac would get over a little bit more than the Trust. And I believe Scooter liked the feel of the Trust for the flick shot. A little bit flatter, no bead, so a little bit better grip, he said, for this forehand shot. And you can see his shots were pretty close. I think he had one in circle 2, and the rest of them were pretty much in the bullseye. You want to take a look at them there. All right, and as always, we're going to do a distance portion, even though this is a mid-range. I can usually throw the EMac or my gatekeepers out to like 330. So we're going to let these things go and see where they go. That one Hyzered out early, didn't quite get a hold of it, got to 286. And then I get a hold of this one. I think I get a full flight out of it, for me at least. Pumping it out there to somewhere in the 335, 340 feet. And here comes the Trust. Now, I thought I would get more distance out of the Trust, but they all ended up pretty much in the same ballpark. Both Trusts got almost exactly the same distance. This one I got over a little bit more, both at 306 and 305. And you can see the spread there. That was the one that Hyzered out early. And the one that went really far, about 35 feet past him, is up here. And the other Trust that I kind of got over a little bit or straightened more is right there. I would say it's all about which you like for your grip. They both have nice grip. They both feel really good in the hands. And they both have a very dependable flight pattern. Those flight numbers are right on, spot on. I feel like the Trust feels like a better forehand disc, and that's just my opinion. It doesn't seem to have quite as much dome. Well, that's it. Hope you get to try some of these discs out, and we will see you on the next review. Please share, like, and subscribe if you've been watching the videos, and thank you for any comments you have. See you on the next one.